Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value. And if you guys are looking for undervalued investment opportunities, click subscribe. I could potentially have some in this presentation. What I'm going over is diversified mining companies. We call them the diversified miners. These are large, big, diversified mining companies. They pay dividends. I consider them to be lower risk because they're diversified by nature. They mine a lot of different commodities. They could mine 8 or 10 different commodities or more. They have a pipeline of producing, developing, and exploration happening all at the same time in multiple minerals. So these are the big boys. These are the ones that they sell a wide array of a whole bunch of stuff. They could be in oil, they could be in uranium, they could be in diamonds, they could be in all sorts of other minerals that are base metals like copper, nickel, iron ore, on and on and on and on. So here's the diversified miners. Let's take a look at the technical analysis and the charts that they've got. So diversified miners, I'm going to jump right into it. And again, this is not financial advice. It's just a financial education only. You guys are going to have to do your own due diligence here. So here's Rio Tinto. This is a big boy. And we've got this channel that it's created. And we've just been going up and down in this channel. We are kind of in the lower end of the channel. We could very well pull back to the bottom. Maybe that'd be a good, nice buying opportunity down here. But we're in this channel. That's what it looks like. And Vale, it's also in a channel. So we are creating a channel land for all of these big diversified mining companies where they're bouncing up and down in what looks to be like a channel. BHP, I wanted to join the group as well. Here's the upper and lower trend lines. We're somewhat at the bottom, not a bad spot to be. Doesn't look too bad on the candlestick here to move potentially maybe higher. Kind of broke this little downtrend here. Doesn't look too bad. Glencore looks like it wants to join channel land. And we're just moving on up in this channel. Doesn't look too bad. Here's Anglo American Platinum. We were going up at a ferocious pace here. I know rhodium has had a pretty good pullback. So this has PGM metals, copper, diamonds. It has a whole bunch of different things. But we've come back in this little channel. We broke to the upside. We had a nice big bearish engulfing. We popped down and we've got now a hammer, which means we could reverse to the upside. So what this could be is a nice back test right here. And we'll see if this moves higher. But not a bad spot if you guys like Anglo American Platinum. And I think they pay a pretty good dividend, diversified miner. Here's South 32. Well, let's join channel land again. And you can draw this a little bit different. You can encapsulate these and go sideways. You can go up on top here. So you could create a double upper channel. So this is one channel because there's so many hits in here that you could consider that a channel there. But we're just moving on up in this channel. I'd like to see it break to the upside eventually. Here's Southern Copper Corporation. Looks like it's putting in a pullback. We came up, and this is a pullback here, almost Elliott wave style as it comes around. And hopefully this line holds here, this support line. If it holds, we'll eventually come out of this pullback consolidation period and move higher. So be patient. Here's Nova Royalty. This guy's been kind of moving sideways. I think I cost averaged in at like 310 or something in here. We potentially could break to the downside here, so get ready. This is a bearish engulfing right here if it closed that low. If it came back up at the end of the day and has a hammer pattern like this guy here, this would be a bullish sign, and we're probably going to stay above it. So we'll see if this breaks to the downside. If it breaks to the downside and runs down a little bit, because there isn't much support through here, we very well could go to $1.50, and I hope we do, because I would buy more at $1.50 for sure. So we'll see what happens. Here's Turquoise Hill Resources. I know somebody asked about this one. Here's the downtrend line, and we're going to zoom in. So we broke the downtrend, the big downtrend. We're coming on back. Let's zoom in on this area over here. Got lots of volume. We zoomed in, and on the short term, we broke this rising ascending wedge pattern to the downside, and we could potentially move sideways or come back a little bit. So I would expect this to kind of go sideways or come back, pull back, downward. We could retest down to this line potentially at 1250-ish or so, and then move higher. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll go that low. We very well could go sideways here and maybe pull back only to 16, 15, 14 or something like that before moving higher. But give it some time. Here's Taseko Mines. Here's the downtrend line. It broke that. And we're looking okay. And if this thing comes back on down, don't be afraid. We can have a little bit of a pullback and be just fine. Trilogy Metals, here's their pattern here. Coming on up, we broke to the downside of this wedge pattern. Downside, and you can see it consolidate for a little bit. This was actually almost 2 years of consolidation before on moving higher here. And now we're moving up. This is a break of the pattern. And this is probably projected somewhere up here if you were to use this shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. Here's Copper Mountain Mining. You can draw the trend line in. It broke it, cut right through it almost. Just a little bit of a pause, and then just kept going. Are we in a consolidation phase for a move higher, or is this thing going to break down and move lower? I don't necessarily know. We got the volume all piling in here. We'll have to wait and see. Here's NGX Material. It's in channel land as well. We're moving up between these channels, and it's looking pretty good. So that's what I've got for diversified mining and some smaller to mid-cap mining companies in copper. Overall, some of them could pull back, or some could go higher. I mean, when we break the big patterns, I just hold on. I don't worry myself about, is this going to move up for the next month or two? And I'm perfectly fine with something going sideways for 6 months or even a year. And then eventually it just takes off and goes. So I'm pretty patient. I want the big move. And you're going to have to endure some of these pullbacks. It's completely normal. And sometimes they can be somewhat large. They can be 20, 30% pullbacks. What I'm going to do is take advantage of the pullbacks when they occur and just kind of cost average in. That's my plan, my strategy, and to hold it through the entire bull market. If you guys like this channel, like this presentation, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.